The following is a production of WCMP Sports. It's time for volleyball action here on WCMP. First serve is coming up shortly, but now we send it to the court for the call of this match.
Welcome in, ladies and gentlemen, to tonight's broadcast of volleyball here on WCMP. 106.5 FM, AM 1350 is where we're broadcasting on the radio. We're also broadcasting live online with video at WCMPradio.com. Go to the sports tab, click on broadcast schedule, and that's where you'll find the link to tonight's game. You'll also find the links to all the week of games. So all the games that we're broadcasting this week you can find right there on the broadcast schedule, and you can find, again, just click the links and that's where the video will be at, if of course we are allowed to do video. Most schools we are allowed to do video here for the local listening area, so more times than not, 99% of the time, especially during the regular season, we're going to be able to be doing video, unless it's playoffs. Playoffs is usually when we start to not being able to do video just because of MSHSL rules, but we will happily comply with those. If you can't already tell, I am Ethan Game Day Gilman, and I'll be bringing you all the action from tonight's game. That sounded a little cocky, didn't it? That a little bit cocky for the first game of the year. But I am Game Day Gilman, and if you listen to the morning show, that's where I'm at, 7:45 and 8:45 with Joshua Miron on 100.9 FM. Or maybe you listen to the morning show with Rockin' Robin Riley and hear the sports update at 7:30 and 8:30. Always good conversations with both of them. Always love to have conversations with them. It's always nice to kind of start your day, with Robin Riley at least. Sometimes Joshua Miron, we can all have, sometimes you can have too much Joshua Miron, as much as he likes to say that you can never have enough and that he is all-knowing. Sometimes it can get to be too much. But again, want to thank everybody for tuning in here tonight for the first game of the season. Now, it's not their first action of the season, as Pine City headed up to Royalton this past weekend for a tournament. Try to find results on that. Couldn't find any yet. We'll make sure to try and find those and see how they did. But this team looking pretty good from last year. Didn't lose too many. I think it was 2 or 3 seniors they lost from last year. So a pretty good group coming back here for the Pine City Dragons. Looking at it, it's Chloe Lind and then Gabby Schumacher as well, along with Maggie Smetna, Madison Bombard, and Sky Aarons are the seniors for this team. The captains on this Pine City Dragon volleyball team are Chloe Lind, Arissa Rydberg, and Madison Bombard as well. And before we continue on to the Mora side of things, I do want to mention that this game tonight against the Mora Mustangs for Pine City is Caitlin's game. Caitlin Lorsung, who was a former Dragon volleyball player and graduated in 2021, was diagnosed this summer with germ cell cancer. So they have sold t-shirts for this game. They're actually selling right now root beer floats. I thought about going over and get one, but again, if you listen to the morning show, you know how many lunches, breakfasts, and dinners Joshua Miron has, and spending enough time with him, it rubs off. So I've had about, my third lunch of the day not too long ago, and I told myself, well, I can't spoil myself that much tonight. I do have to call a game, so I can't get too full, but they are, again, selling root beer floats here at the game. They have sold shirts, again, all going to benefit Caitlin Lorsung and her family to help her in this tough time. And a pretty cool thing that Tammy Nelson, the head coach for Pine City, talked about and told me about was that Mora, and I seen it here as I got to the court, Mora actually bought shirts as well for Caitlin's game. So they're wearing the black shirts with some, looks like yellow and blue or yellow and teal writing on the shirts to support Caitlin Lorsung and her battle with germ cell cancer. So again, just a great act of kindness and I can't even describe the words, but for the opposing team, and this isn't just an opposing team. Mora is not just an opposing team. Let's get that straight right away. Mora is just not an opposing team to Pine City, no matter what sport they're playing. This is a rivalry game first and foremost for Pine City and Mora, but for Mora to come out and buy shirts to support Caitlin Lorsung in her battle is just an incredible testament to that team and how kind they are and just their human spirit, just understanding that, this player is going through a tough time. And, I'm sure some of these girls who are on the Mora team currently have probably played against her, probably know her a little bit as well, or at least have had a conversation with her after or before one of the games. So great to see that the Mora Mustangs buying some shirts as well and supporting Caitlin Morsung and tonight's cause of this game. Again, it is Caitlin's game in support of her. They sold many T-shirts. I forgot how many head coach Nelson said they sold, but you can go to WCMPradio.com to listen to that full preseason interview with head coach Tammy Nelson. Just go to the sports tab once again and hover over it and then click on interviews. That's where you'll find Tammy Nelson. You might have to scroll down a little bit on the interviews part once you get there, but once you do, just look for Tammy Nelson's name and you'll find that preseason interview. But again, tonight's Caitlin's game here between the Mora Mustangs and the Pine City Dragons. Mora had a tougher side of things over at the Howard Lake Waverly Winstead tournament on Friday. They fell in 3 matches to Glencoe, Silver Lake, Howard Lake, Waverly, Winstead, and I forgot the other one. I just talked about it this morning, but my memory ain't great. But yeah, they lost their 3 matches in Howard Lake, Waverly, Winstead tournament. But again, I mentioned that on the morning show with Rockin' Robin Riley, just because you start out on a tough note like that does not mean that's the way the season is going to go. A lot of times, that's kind of how a season starts for some teams, and then all of a sudden they come out and in their first few matches and they look like a completely different team, and then they go throughout the season and people are like, wait a minute, didn't this team lose 3 to begin the season? Well, yeah, but sometimes a tournament right off the bat can be tough for any team, and some do better than others. But I'm telling you, Mora is not an 0-3 team. They're not going to lose every game. They're going to be very competitive this season, and they're going to be a very good team. And what a great, you can't think of a better matchup to begin the regular season between these two teams. Their first head-to-head match, I should say, for both of these squads is tonight. And what a better match than Mora and Pine City right here in Pine City. Last year, this actually was the first game of the regular season for both of these teams as well, but it was in Mora, and Pine City came away with the victory in that one. I believe it was 3-1 there last year. But these two are different teams. Both have graduated some seniors. One has a new head coach, and that is the Mora Mustangs. They have a new head coach in Katie Rolfe. Had a chance to talk with her and have a quick preseason interview. And you can, again, go to kvek.com and listen to that interview. Just go to the sports tab, click on interviews. But again, just a great interview with her to be able to talk about the season and talk about the players and what she hopes for and what she's excited for the season as well. But again, just being able to talk to these coaches and just get a feel for what they feel the season is and how their teams have been and how they are thinking about the team, and it's just incredible. And again, we have a great coaches and athletes in the local listening area to be able to do these interviews with, and then to come to these games and them just be so glad that we're here and so supportive is just huge. Because I don't know how many times last year I had it happen where something went wrong or we had something missing or I needed something, and more times than not, the coaches, ADs, players were so willing to give a helping hand. It is just incredible. That just goes to show you the type of athletes, and not just athletes, but the people that these parents and coaches are helping raise. It is just an awesome thing to see. But getting back to the game tonight, as we look to last year's record for Pine City, we'll start with the home team. They were 11-13-1, 6-4 in the conference, 4-4 in the section, and it didn't start the greatest in their first tournament either. They were up in Royalton last year, same with this year, and they tied 1, they lost 2, and won 1 as well in that tournament. And then they came out and, as I mentioned, won against Mora. Then they had a tough stretch. It was a tough stretch last year for Pine City. They just ran into some very, very tough teams, and of course some of them are the ones that you know very well: Rush City, East Central, Mille Lacs, Chisago Lakes, Irondale. They played a lot of bigger schools last year as well, but just ran into those bigger, or I shouldn't say bigger, but just teams who were just on their games, and it's not like they were blowouts either. They were really close games. But then you look to the playoffs. Pine City won their first game at home against Mora, and that one went a little bit differently. That was a 3-2 win over Mora. It came down to that last set. My goodness, was it a set to watch? It was a great set. What a way to start off the playoffs last year for Pine City and Mora. Unfortunately, Mora, that's where their season ended, but for Pine City, they got to play one more game as they traveled up to Proctor to take on the Rails, and the Rails would defeat them 3-0. I think the Rails actually went pretty far in their postseason run, if I remember correctly. I think they made it to the semis or maybe the finals. I don't remember. That was a long time ago for me, but still a great year for Pine City, and just looking to come back and do even better. For the Mora Mustangs, as we talked about, they were 9-18, 2-4 in the section, 4-6 in their conference play, and they went 1-3 in their first tournament. And they ran into some very tough tournaments. I mean, they played Zimmerman, Holdingford, Cloquet, Aiken, just super tough teams to play against in some of these tournaments. And those teams obviously have a great tradition of being very, very good volleyball teams. And Mora still played very well. They wound up getting the victory over Zimmerman in the last game of the season, 3-1, and that was a little bit of a revenge after they lost them in a tournament earlier in the year, 2-0. So a little bit of revenge, and of course, we know they lost to Pine City 3-2 in their only playoff game that they played. So Week 1 is tonight. It's kicking off here tonight for the Pine City Dragons and the Mora Mustangs getting set to come out onto the court. But first, we will get our national anthem and our starting lineups, and I have a feeling we'll probably talk a little bit about Caitlin Lorsung before the game starts as well. We'll take a commercial break. When we come back, we'll be set to start with First Serve here on WCMP.
With high school sports season here again, Wellia Health wants to remind you that they want to help your athletes stay in the game. Sports medicine services are available at every Wellia Health campus. Whether it's the young athlete, the weekend warrior, or the accomplished athlete, injuries can happen. Get back in the game by calling the sports medicine experts at Wellia Health, 320-679-1313. Wellia Health. Live life well.
Minnesota Equipment is your lawn equipment headquarters. With plenty of staff members that have over 20 years of experience, they're number one in sales and service for a reason. The pros at Minnesota Equipment have tons of lawnmowers, zero-turn mowers, and accessories on site, so come by for Steel, Aaron's, Toro, Gravely, and John Deere, and take one home today. Minnesota Equipment, Highway 65 in Isanti, or find them at minnesotaequipment.com today.
Are you interested in a technical degree that can quickly help you land your dream career? Or maybe you've always dreamed of going to a 4-year college, but you'd like to start close to home. Either way, Pine Technical and Community College has you covered. PTCC offers more than 50 degrees in hot fields like healthcare information technology, advanced manufacturing, and business. PTCC is now accepting applications. Financial aid may be available online at pine.edu. Starting out or starting over, find your future at Pine Technical and Community College.
Since 1967, Schmidt Construction, general contractor in Hinckley, has been where to go for all your building projects. Let Gerald Schmidt help you with designing, remodeling, or any new construction. Schmidt Construction specializes in residential home building, agricultural, industrial, and commercial buildings. With expert advice on all of your building projects and ideas, when you hire a contractor to take care of your building needs, you can't do better than Schmidt Construction, general contractor in Hinckley. 320-384-7901.
A&W Restaurant Pine City is still making fresh root beer, that signature item since 1919. It's still made fresh and on-site with real cane sugar and a blend of secret ingredients. It doesn't get any better than this. Their world-renowned A&W root beer is a classic treat, and they can top it off with creamy vanilla soft serve to be known as the famous A&W root beer float. Now that's smooth, tasty, and refreshing. An American iconic A&W root beer float. It never tasted so good. A&W Restaurant Pine City. Come grab your root beer float today.
If you've been injured in an auto accident or have sustained other personal injury, you don't have to leave town to get good representation. Spear & Swanson attorneys at law in Pine City are experienced and will work on your case with no fee until they get you money. They also handle divorce and custody cases, criminal defense, including DWI and other legal matters. Spear & Swanson is your local law firm that cares about you. So if you need legal representation or advice, call 320-629-7586. Spear & Swanson, attorneys at law in Pine City.
Your 401k is likely one of your most important assets. But it's only part of a comprehensive retirement strategy. Edward Jones can help you understand how your retirement assets fit into your entire retirement picture so you can work toward meeting your unique retirement goals. Contact Sidney Nelson, your Pine City Edward Jones financial advisor. Find him at 950 Main Street South, right next to Dairy Queen. Sidney Nelson and Edward Jones, making sense of investing. Member SIPC.
Loading the kids in the car, brokering peace in the back seat, mastering the snack handoff without even looking. Why are simple things sometimes so complicated? Thankfully, with auto owners, insurance doesn't have to be one of them. We work with independent agents who keep insurance simple, so you can worry about more important things, like figuring out what's growing in that cup holder. That's simple human sense.
Contact your local auto owner's agency, Pine Insurance Agency, at pineagency.us today.
When was the last time you had a professional tune-up for your home or business furnace? 1 year? 5 years? Or maybe it's been so long that you don't remember. When it's time to winterize your home or business, your routine isn't complete without a furnace tune-up from Dale's Heating and Appliance. A tune-up from Dale's will keep your furnace running at peak efficiency so you can keep warm all winter. Don't wait and avoid costly repairs. Call Dale's Heating and Appliance at 320-629-3531 or contact them online at dalesheatingandappliance.com.
The mushroom melt is back at A&W. How does this sound? Sautéed seasoned mushrooms and onions with melted Swiss cheese on your choice of a juicy burger or grilled chicken. Then add golden French fries and a medium soft drink. It's the mushroom melt and fries combo at A&W. Now, top it off with a classic A&W root beer float featuring vanilla soft serve and made fresh root beer, all in a frosty mug. Or how about the A&W root beer freeze? Signature combos and delicious treats always at your local A&W restaurant in Pine City.
Welcome back here on WCMP 106.5 FM, AM 1350. The home for tonight's volleyball game between the Pine City Dragons and the Mora Mustangs. Again, tonight is Caitlin's game, honoring Caitlin Lorsung in her battle with germ cell cancer as she is fighting. And again, they're selling root beer floats. They've sold shirts as well. We've got your starting lineups, and first game of the season, we're getting it all out of the way, folks, right now, I promise. We're getting it all out of the way right now. I forgot a pen. Go figure. I forget a pen. The one thing that, you know, everyone has a million of everywhere, except for me. I don't have them in the car, not in the backpack, but it's game one. I promise we're all getting it all out now. Yeah, game one. Bound to be something. I knew there was something going to happen, and usually if it's a broadcast, if you don't have something that happens that goes wrong, it's usually not going to be a good one. So I promise we'll get it all figured out. But the starters here for the Mora Mustangs: number 1, Taylor Hagberg; number 2, Quincy Osmus; number 3, Nora Kerr; number 8, Sophie Steffen; number 9, Lindsay Nosbush; and number 11, Shay Osmus. On the other side for the Pine City Dragons, it will be number 2, Abby Agard; number 3, Chloe Lind. And we also have, looks like, number 8, Maggie Smetna. The libero, number 12, Maddie Bombard. Number 14, Summer Thiemann. And, of course, number 5, Arissa Rydberg. Rydberg will start with the serve for the Pine City Dragons as we kick off the brand new season of 2022 in the first head-to-head matchup. It's dug up by the Mustangs and then pushed over by Amber Fix, dug up by the Pine City Dragons, now hit over by Lind, and that one is going to be down for this first point of the game for the Pine City Dragons. First game, trying to get back in the swing of things myself, as are these two teams in the head-to-head matchup. Again, it's number 5, Arissa Rydberg with the serve. Dug up by Nas Bush and then hit on over by Quincy Osmus. Dug up there by libero Bombard, and then the kill by Lind is dug up by the Mustangs, hit back over by the Mustangs, and now with the dig and looking for the kill is Agar. That one's dug up there by Steffen. Then pushed on over by Osmus, dug up there by Agard, and Agard looking for another kill. It's dug up again nicely by Steffen, and hitting this one over is Hagberg, and that one's going to go out of bounds on the far side, top of your screen, for the second point to the Pine City Dragons. Looks like Rydberg back there to serve. Rydberg with the serve. This one goes. It's dug up by Steffen. Now to Shea Osmus, and looking for the kill. It's just a tad long from Taylor Hagberg. And that's the third straight point here for Pine City. They lead 3-0. Oh, they're going to actually reverse the call and say a Dragon touched it. And that is going to be the first point for the Mora Mustangs. It's 2-1. Shea Osmus looking for the serve for the Mustangs. She gets it, and it is dug up by two Dragons, but it's Thiemann. And now hit on over by Agard. Agard, and that one's dug up by the Mustangs, but it goes off of their hand. Their dig a little bit funky, goes out of bounds, and that will be the third point for the Pine City Dragons. Agard is back to serve for the Dragons. Checking out is Summer Thiemann, and checking in for her is Carly Jusak. Agard with the serve, dug up there by Steffen. Now to Hagberg, hit on over by Osmus. Dug up by Agard. Lynn looking for the kill. That gets down. And it's 4-1 here in set number 1. Agard goes back to serve. Agard with the serve. It's over and a little bit too long. Mora will just watch that one sail back out of the boundary. And it's 4-2. Now getting set to serve for the Mora Mustangs is Taylor Hagberg. Hagberg with the serve. It is over. Dug up by Bombard. Jusak keeps it alive, and now hitting it over is Smetna. Smetna does a good job of getting that one over. Steffen looking for the kill. It goes into her own net. And the Dragons will get the point, on that one, as they lead 5-2. Bombard checks out, and in for her is Rydberg, looks like. Actually, that's Emma Hermanson now in. Chloe Lynn with the serve. It goes into the net. And it's point Mora. 5-3. Mora will get a substitution here. It's going to be Haley Nordenstrom in for Nora Kerr. So Nordenstrom in for Kerr, and back to serve now is Quincy Osmus for the Mustangs. Student section for the Dragons getting into it. This serve is long, and the Dragons will let that one go. Lind had a tough time deciding whether she wanted to let it go or not. She does at the last second, duck under it, and it goes long, and that is now 6-3, and back to serve is Maggie Smetna for the Dragons. It goes into the net, and Mora will get a point back. 6-4, back and forth in this first set we go, and now it is Nora. I think I'm seeing the number wrong. I thought it's Nora Kerr, but I believe it is another player for Mora getting the serve, and the kill, though, there by Carly Jusak, and Lindsay Nosbush is the one who got the serve for Mora. My eyes aren't the greatest, and the numbers, it looks like an 8 or 9 or possibly even a 3, but now Carly Jusak back to serve for the Dragons. Dug up nicely there by the Mustangs. Hermanson, and now she deals it off to Rydberg, and that is a kill for Rydberg. Make it 8-4 now in favor of Pine City here in set number 1. Jusak will serve it up once again for Pine City. The serve is over. Osmus trying to get the dig, but it goes behind her. And another point for Pine City, 9-4. And it looks like Lindsay Sigstad will come in for Nora Kerr. Still back to serve for Pine City is Carly Jusak. Jusak with the serve. It is over. It is dug up nicely there by Sigstad. Over for Rydberg. And Hermanson gets under it. Now Rydberg pushes it back over. Dug up again by Sigstad. And looking for the kill is Steffen. Nice diving dig there from Lind to Rydberg to Agard. It's tipped over by the Mustangs. Jusak will keep it alive. And Agard will tip it over once again. Steffen with the dig. Trying to push it over was Shea Osmus. She gets it over and then pushed right back over by Hermanson. And now the dig, or the block rather, by Hermanson again. She gets another block. And looks like we're going to get a whistle on the Dragons. Not sure if she crossed the line or if she touched the net, but either way, it's point Mora. It's 9-5. Carly Jusak is out, and in for her is Summer Thiemann. That's the substitution. It's Sophie Steffen with the serve just over the net. Dug up nicely there by Agard. Now to Rydberg, and back over for the Mustangs. Dug up again by Rydberg. Now to Agard. Rydberg will hit it back over. Dug up by Sigstad, and blocked at the net by Hermanson, but it just rolls off of her hand to the court, and it's 9-6 now for the Pine City Dragons, still in the lead. Set number 1 And the Mustangs still have the lead. Sophie Steffen with the serve. It is over and out on the near side. Dragons will get one back, and they now lead 10-6. Going back to serve now is Emma Hermanson for the Pine City Dragons. Hermanson with the serve into the net. Lind had to kind of duck that one. Hermanson will check out. Maddie Bombard checks in for her. Bombard again, the libero, wearing the white jersey. Get a whistle here. We'll have substitution. Checking in is Quincy Osmus for Mora. And back to serve is Shea Osmus. Osmus with the serve. Actually, that might be Haley Nordenstrom. I apologize. Rydberg will just tip that one over. Dug up nicely by Steffen. Kept alive there by Osmus. And then tipped over. And Rydberg, that's Agard, who will give it a little finger tap to keep it over on the Mora side of the net. For point, Pine City, 11-7 now. Checking into the game is Nora Kerr. She checks in, and now Arissa Rydberg back to serve for Pine City. Rydberg's serve is over. Kerr, who just got into the game, had to get low for that one, but unfortunately just couldn't get a clean hit on it, and it goes to her bench. It's 12-7. Rydberg with the serve once again. It is over the net. Oh, and a bit of miscommunication there. It looked like Taylor Hagberg, the senior, got maybe the end of her fist on it, but just not enough, and it goes awry, and it's 13-7 now in favor of Pine City in set number 1. Rydberg will serve once again. It is over. And dug up, and now looking for the kill is Osmus. Quincy Osmus gets it just over the hand of Summer Thiemann, and it's point for Mora. And now getting set to serve is Shea Osmus. Shea Osmus will be back to serve for Mora. Osmus with the serve. It's over. It's dug up by Thiemann, and gonna go out of bounds. Agard just couldn't track that one cleanly. And it goes out of bounds on the far side. 13-9 now, still in favor of Pine City. Agard, I think, got a little bit confused on that one and then just couldn't track the ball enough to get after it. Bombard with the dig to Rydberg, and now Agard will push it over. Nice diving dig attempt there by Nora Kerr, but it's not enough as it goes toward the far bleachers. Point for Pine City. Carly Jusak will substitute in, taking the place of Summer Thiemann, as it's 14-9 Pine City. Agard with the serve. The dig there by Nora Kerr, and just pushing it over is Quincy Osmus. Dig by Pine City, and Agard hits it over. Dug up there by Shea Osmus, and pushing it over is Hagberg. Dug up by Lind. Now to Agard, and Jusak looking for the kill. Dug up nicely there by the Mora Mustangs, Hagberg, and now pushing it over is Quincy Osmus, but I think we're going to get a lift there. Or double hit, they say. A double hit on the Mustangs. And it's 15-9 now. Pine City in set number 1. Agard back to serve once again. Dug up again by Nora Kerr. And looking for the kill is Quincy Osmus. Gonna give the point to Pine City. I wasn't sure if Pine City maybe got a hand on that or no, but it will be point Pine City, and it's 16-9 in favor of the Dragons here in set number 1. Again, it is best of 5 here in volleyball. Got to get to 21, winning by at least 2. So far, so good for the Pine City Dragons in their home black jerseys. I believe that's the jerseys they wear in general. But black jerseys with green numbers and letters outlined in white. The Mora Mustangs wearing their white jerseys with blue numbers outlined in black, along with the letters. 16-9 in favor of the Dragons here in set number 1. In the first head-to-head matchup of the season for either team, that is in a scrimmage. Whereas both these teams, I believe, had 2 scrimmages last week, and then also traveled up to Royalton for Pine City, and then Mora went to Howard Lake Waverly Winstead. Abby Agard still back to serve here for Pine City. Her team leads 16-9. The serve is over. It's a good one. Dug up by Nora Kerr. And Kerr will hit it across. Oh, but it goes under the net. Just the wrong angle with that hit. Needed a little more lift. 17-9. Excuse me, I think I said 21. I think it's to 25. I apologize. Kerr with the dig. And now pushed across by Hagberg. Dug up by Lind. to Rydberg. Now to Agard, who just taps it across. Steffen keeps it alive to Kerr. Oh, and Kerr and Shea Osmus had a bit of miscommunication as they both kind of swung at it for the dig, but both kind of pulled back at the last second as well. It must have been a got it situation, and they both kind of pulled back, wanting the other one to have their chance at it. Agard with the serve. It's a clean serve. Nice dig, though, by the Mora Mustangs. Hit on over by Shea Osmus. Maddie Bombard keeps it alive. Nice job by Rydberg. And then pushing it across is Smetna with the push across. My goodness, what a volley there by the Pine City Dragons. Maddie Bombard hit it, and then Rydberg used her hustle to get after it. And then Maggie Smetna also hustling after it, keeping it alive, and then it went into the net by the Mora Mustang. Serve is up. It's dug up by Shea Osmus. Now pushing it across is Nora Kerr, dug up by Bombard. Now to Rydberg. Agard into the net, and it's going to be point Mora. 19-10 in favor of Pine City. So far, not too long of volleys in between here. It's been pretty quick. As Hagberg is back to serve, dug up by Carly Jusak. Now to Rydberg, and Jusak is going to hit it back across to Hagberg with the dig. Shea Osmus, and now looking for the kill is Steffen. She'll get the kill on the far side back corner. It's 19-11. Mora trying to mount that comeback. (19-11) favor Pine City. Hagberg with the serve. It's dug up by Agard. And Lynn will just tap it across to Hagberg with the dig. Osmus. And now going up and getting the kill is Chloe Lynn. She did not wait for the Mustangs to get there on that one. She has long arms and she knows how to use them. She just goes up and over the net and taps it down. Point for Pine City, 20-11 now, as Lynn will be back to serve. Serve is over, and that is a beautiful serve. That's an ace for Chloe Lind. So Chloe Lind with the, I believe it's the first ace here this evening for either side, and it's 21-11. So it is to 25, I apologize. I said 21. It's to 25, I promise. Lind with another nice serve. It's dug up by the Mustangs, though. Agard, and now to Jusak. Jusak! That one goes off of Hagberg into the bleachers on the far side, and it's 22-11. Pine City's 3 points away from claiming set number 1. Chloe Lind will stay back to serve. Up and over, and oh, maybe a mistake there by Nora Kerr as she put her fist to try and dig that one, but it might have went long had she left it, but just got her fists up, and that's okay. You want to try everything because you're trailing. Rhiannon Ashworth will check in for Nora Kerr for the Mora Mustangs as Chloe Lind gets set to serve once again, 23-11. This one goes into the net, so Mora will get one back. 23-12 is the score here in set number 1. Now back to serve for the Mora Mustangs is Quincy Osmus. Osmus with the serve. It is over. It's dug up by Agard, now to Rydberg, and pushing it across is Emma Hermanson. Dug up by Steffen to Shea Osmus, and diving after it is Rydberg. Trying to push it across was Carly Jusak, just couldn't get enough of her fingers on it. And that'll be down on Pine City's side for a point, 23-13. Checking in now is Gabby Schumacher in for Abby Agard for the Pine City Dragons. Schumacher in for the first time. And it's Quincy Osmus for the Mora Mustangs with the serve. Dug up by Lind to Rydberg. And Smetna trying to get it over, but it goes into the net, and that's going to be 4 hits as Jusak tried to push it over without the refs noticing that was the 4th hit. She tried. I give her credit for trying, but that is 4 hits, and now it's 23-14 as Osmus with the serve. Diving after it is Lind to Rydberg to Hermanson. That goes into the net. It's 23-15. Mora trying to mount the comeback. 23-15, Quincy Osmus back to serve. It is over, dug up by Lind. To Rydberg after it, and Jusak going to go up for the kill. Carly Jusak with the kill, and now it's set point, 24-15. Mora's got a lot of work to do here if they want to try and come back and claim this set, but looking to end it here is Maggie Smetna. Smetna with the serve. It is over. Excuse me, I think that's actually, yes, that is Smetna. Apologize. Rydberg will just tip it across. Nice job keeping that alive. Steffen will look for the kill. Tapped at the net and then hitting it back across to Smetna. Did that get down? It did! What a job there by Maggie Smetna to get that one over. I mean, she had to go at a super hard angle. She's on the far side of the court, close to the net as well, and then she had to go and hit it opposite angle to the opposite side. What a hit there by Maggie Smetna. The kill for the set point here. So set number 1 belongs to Pine City, 25-15 over the Mora Mustangs. The Mustangs will trail 1-0 as they fall in set 1, 25-15. We'll take a commercial break. When we come back, we'll be ready for set number 3. I should use some different wording there. Don't want to say set for set 3. Either way, we're going to be back and ready for the second set. Excuse me.
With all the stress involved in a legal situation, it is comforting to know that you have K-Back Law on your side. K-Back Law in Pine City provides a relaxing atmosphere for you to feel comfortable discussing your legal needs. They handle a wide range of cases from real estate and business to estate planning and probate. K-Back Law has fair and flexible pricing and will accommodate your schedule. Visit them in Pine City or Sandstone. For more information, visit K-Back Law online at kbacklaw.com. That's kbacklaw.com.
With high school sports season here again, Wellia Health wants to remind you that they want to help your athletes stay in the game. Sports medicine services are available at every Wellia Health campus. Whether it's the young athlete, the weekend warrior, or the accomplished athlete, injuries can happen. Get back in the game by calling the sports medicine experts at Wellia Health, 320-679-1313. Wellia Health. Live life well.
Back here on 106.5 FM WCMP. A bit of a different look out there for the Pine City Dragons. We'll have Hannah Bombard out there. And, of course, I can't see the numbers. That just has to work like that for me. Either way, looks like we also have Robin Odegaard out there, along with Sky Aarons. Those are the other Dragons out there right now. And Libero Bombard will check in for Aarons. But staying out there are Robin Odegaard and Hannah Bombard. Maddie Bombard again, the senior libero for the Pine City Dragons out there. Bit of the same look for the Mustangs. Mustangs will start with the serve here in set number 2. And with the serve is Shea Osmus dug up there by Summer Thiemann. And Lynn looking for the kill. Nice dig there by Steffen. And no one can get to the ball for the Mustangs as that drops right in front of the net for the first point of set number 2. It goes to Pine City. Back to serve for the Dragons now is Arissa Rydberg. Her serve is over. It's dug up nicely there, I believe, by Kerr. And now looking for the kill. That is Ashworth. Hitting it over is Hannah Bombard. Right to Steffen, and now coming over looking for the kill is Nosbush, but blocked at the net. Nice job by the Mustangs to keep that alive, and then hitting it across are the Mustangs. Now tapping it across is Lynn. Nice dig by the Mustangs, and Hagberg looking for the just tap across, but the Dragons push it back over, and that's another point for the Pine City Dragons. 2-0 here in set number 2. Arissa Rydberg back to serve. It's Maddie and Hannah Bombard along with Summer Thiemann, Chloe Lind, and Robin Odegaard. That serve goes nearly into the rafters after the dig, and hitting it over is Quincy Osmus right to Maddie Bombard. Dug up by Rydberg. And now Hannah Bombard looking for the kill. Oh, nice job there by Hannah Bombard with the kill. That one looked a little bit awkward as it came off of her hit, but it found its way to the court for point number 3. 3 straight now for the Pine City Dragons. In set number 2, they won set number 1, 25-15. Rydberg back to serve. It's over. That one, her serve has such a nice motion on it. Pushed across by Shea Osmus, pushed back across by Chloe Lind, and the Mora Mustangs just couldn't get it back over the net, as that is now 4 straight for Pine City. Rydberg with the serve. It is over. Dug up by Sophie Steffen. Shea Osmus, and that one reaches the net. Lind, I don't know if she actually got a hand on it, but it was enough for Mora to not be able to go up for it. And a lot of times, you don't have to necessarily get a hand on it. As long as you're going up and acting like you're getting a hand on it, a lot of times the other team is going to be kind of confused and frustrated. So they, a lot of times, won't go up after it. Rydberg, Hannah Bombard looking for another kill. That one's just long on the opposite side. It'll be the first point for the Mora Mustangs. Pine City scored 5 straight. And Mora gets one back. It's Hagberg with the serve. Dug up by Summer Thiemann. Rydberg gets after it and now pushed across by Chloe Lind. Hagberg, we got a whistle. So we got, a double hit call on Mora. So it's going to be a point back for Pine City as Carly Jusak will check in for Summer Thiemann. 2 juniors. Back to serve is Hannah Bombard. Her serve is over. That's dug up by Nora Kerr. Steffen will look for the kill, but it hits into the net. And another point for Pine City, 7-1. It's been all Pine City here so far in set number 1 as Hannah Bombard with the serve gets over the net. Steffen with the dig to Shea Osmus, and now to Carly Jusak, and that's going to go off of Hagberg to the opposite side bleachers for yet another point for Pine City. It's going to be a timeout called here by the Mora Mustangs, and the head coach, Katie Rolfe, will be the one to call the timeout. Only a minute for the timeout, and we'll keep it here. Again, you're listening on 106.5 FM, AM 1350, or maybe you're watching on YouTube via WCMPradio.com. Either way, I want to thank you so much for tuning in to the first head-to-head matchup of the season. Whether you want to call it Week 0, Week 1, Week 2, whatever you would like to call it, it is volleyball action back here on WCMP. It seemed like a long summer that we've had to wait for fall sports again, but we're back. And this week we have a ton of sports coming your way on WCMP and KBEK. Got some volleyball action, some tennis, some football action as well. Football back this Thursday and Friday. Stay tuned for those games. As Hannah Bombard is still back to serve for Pine City. Her serve is over, dug up by Steffen. Now Shea Osmus. Sophie Steffen pushes it across. Maddie Bombard with the dig to Rydberg. Chloe Lind will push this one across. Just a light tap. Hagberg with the dig. It's Osmus, and now hitting it across is Nosbush. Hannah Bombard gets a hand on it, but none of her teammates are going to be able to catch up to it. And that will be point for Mora. 8-2 now. Pine City Dragons with the lead. It looks to be Quincy Osmus with the serve for Mora. Osmus, a junior. Here's the serve. Dug up by Jusak. Rydberg with the set. And looking for the kill is Lind, but that was blocked nicely at the net by the Mustangs. Jusak will get it back across. Dug up by the Mustangs and then hit on over by Haley Nordenstrom. 2 Dragons dive after it, but they both get it over. Hagberg with the dig. Sophie Steffen looking for the kills. Blocked at the net by either Lind or Agard. And it's point Pine City. Excuse me, I think that might have actually been number 25, Robin Odegaard. So we'll give Odegaard the credit along with Lind. Nice job by those two. And Lind is back to serve. 9-2. The serve is over. Dug up by... Oh, that definitely went around the pole, I thought, but it did not. So the point will go back to Mora as they trail 9-3. Now to serve for them is Lindsay Nosbush, a senior. Nosbush with the serve. Lind has to dive after it. Rydberg will just fist it across. And now Sophie Steffen looks for the kill, but that is blocked at the net by Odegaard. And looks like Odegaard and Ahrens. Odegaard and Ahrens there for the block. They get the point back for Pine City. They lead 10-3, and Robin Odegaard will be back to serve, the junior. Odegaard's serve is long, just a little too much on that one. And sometimes after you get block like that, the adrenaline's running, and it runs a little bit too high, and you put a little too much juice on it. She did there. Sophie Steffen back to serve for the Mora Mustangs. Steffen's serve is going to go long. So Steffen will make it back-to-back long serves as Carly Jusak will be substituted out and in for her, Summer Thiemann. And it looks like Thiemann will go back to serve with the Dragons leading 11-4 here in set number 2. This game didn't quite start exactly at 7, but it has felt like a very quick-moving game between these two teams. Thiemann with the serve. It is dug up by Steffen. And now looking for the kills, Haley Nordenstrom. And nice job by Nordenstrom. Get that one down. They get 11-5. Back to serve again. Nordenstrom for the Mustangs. Nordenstrom serve. Goes to Odegaard. Now to Rydberg. Hannah Bombard looks for the kill. Oh, and right spot. She found the right spot for it, just a little bit long on the hit. Again, perfect placement for it, but just a little too much oomph on it. Nora Kerr looks to substitute in. It looks like she will come in for Haley Nordenstrom. So they'll switch servers, will the Mora Mustangs. Katie Rolfe saw something she liked and decided to switch it up to maybe catch the Dragons off guard. Nice dig there by Chloe Lind. And it is Sky Aarons with the hit across. And now Quincy Osmus looking for the kill. Goes to Thiemann. Puts her on her back. And Quincy Osmus with the kill for the Mora Mustangs. And for a second, it looked like Kerr was going to talk to the coach about substituting back out. But she'll stay out there and serve. 11-7, Mora on the fast track to coming back in this one. Well, of course, just as soon as I mention it, it's the announcer's jinx, and it goes just off the side on the near side out, and Sky Aarons will check out in for the libero, Maddie Bombard. Dragons lead 12-7 here in set number 2, and they lead 1-0. Oh, and her serve goes into the net. Point back for Mora, 12-8. 12-8 is the score. Pine City on top of the Mora Mustangs, and now to serve for the Mustangs is Shea Osmus. Osmus with the serve. It is over. Right to Bombard. This is going to go back, but Summer Thiemann tracking it well, and nice hit by Odegaard, but it's not going to get over. Robin Odegaard was their last-ditch effort, but just couldn't get enough on it. Looks like she looks at her hands. Popcorn. Had too much popcorn. Slippery. So you got that long shot reference. Osmus with the serve. Dug up by the Dragons. Lynn looking for the kill. It goes into the net. Point back for Mora. 12-10 now is the score in favor of the Pine City Dragons. Shea Osmus still back serving for the Mustangs. Her serve is over. Right to Thiemann. Nice dig. Rydberg comes back for it, and Lind will hit it back across to the Mustangs. Quincy Osmus looking for another kill. Getting her fingertips on it is Lind, but it rolls off her fingertips, goes and finds itself the boundary line and goes past it. And point back for the Mustangs, 12-11. Mustangs finding their way back here in set number 2. They trail 1-0. Trying to take set 2. Osmus with the serve, dug up by Bombard to Rydberg, to Lind, pushing it across. Dug up by Hagberg to Osmus, and now looking for the kills, Nosbush. Right to Thiemann with the dig, to Rydberg. Hannah Bombard looks for the kill. Dug up nicely, though, by Kerr. And Hagberg will look for the kill. I think that went long. I don't think the Dragons touched it. They did not. It did go long, and it's 13-11. The Dragons get a point back. Dragons now leading by 2 here in set number 2 as Arissa Rydberg is back to serve. Serve is over. It's stuck up by Kerr. Now to Shea Osmus. And Quincy Osmus looking for the kill. Blocked at the net by Lind. Now to Rydberg. G just taps it across. Steffen with the dig. Shea Osmus now to Nosbush. And that gets down for a kill from Nosbush. And it's 13-12. This second set was early on dominated by the Pine City Dragons. And then the Mora Mustangs have just slowly but surely chiseled away at that Pine City lead. Nice dig there by Odegaard for Pine City. Shea Osmus now to Nosbush, dug up by Thiemann, to Rydberg, to Lynn. Nope, it's Odegaard who pushes it across. Dug up by the Mustangs and hit on over by Steffen. Oh, and right where the defenders weren't. That's going to tie it up here at 13 apiece. Summer Thiemann was right there, but I mean, it was just enough in front of her and just enough in the middle of her and another Dragon teammate to where she had to dive last second to try and get after it, and she just missed it. Well, that gets down to tie this second set at 13 apiece between the Mustangs and the Dragons here in this first head-to-head matchup of the regular season. Again, these two teams faced off last year in Mora for the first head-to-head matchup of the season. Pine City came out on top 3-1. Pine City on top 1-0, but now Mora has tied this game in the second set at 13 apiece. One thing about volleyball that makes it so fun is the fact that it can look so lopsided very early on, and it takes just one hit, one kill, one block, one serve to really swing things the exact opposite way and turn the game on its head. And I won't say that's necessarily the case here, because Mora's done a really good job of just slowly chipping away at the Pine City lead, and they have now tied it. Taylor Hagberg, the senior for the Mora Mustangs, is back to serve. It is over. Dug up by Lynn to Rydberg, and Odegaard will hit it across. Beautiful spot in the kill for Hannah Odegaard. Robin Odegaard. Robin Odegaard. It's game one. Getting it all out now, folks, I promise. Carly Chusak checks out in for her, or she checks in for Summer Thiemann. Again, I'm getting it all out now. Bombard with the serve, dug up by the Mustangs. It is hit over by Quincy Osmus. Dug up by Hannah Bombard to Maddie, and now Lynn tips it across. Hagberg with the dig. Quincy Osmus trying to tip it over, but instead it's Nosbush, blocked at the net by the Dragons. Pushing it across to Sophie Steffen, trying to dive and keep it alive was Maddie Bombard, but it goes off the end of her fist out of bounds, and will push it back to a tie at 14. Kerr will check out, and in for her is Haley Nordenstrom. Back to serve is Quincy Osmus. Serve is into the net, but over. Rydberg keeps it alive. Odegaard, Robin Odegaard, and now Lynn looking for the kill. Blocked at the net. Looks like we get a whistle here on Mora. So it's going to be Point Pine City, 15-14. They lead. Chloe Lynn will go back to serve. And in for the libero, Maddie Bombard, is Sky Ahrens. Chloe Lynn with the serve. It's over. Nice serve, and that's going to go off of the dig attempt from Osmus, out of bounds. And Point Pine City, 16-14. Looks like some of the student section has showed up now for the Mora Mustangs as they fill in on the far side. Lind with the 2-point lead. Serve, it is over. Dug up by Hagberg to Jusak to Rydberg, and Aaron's looking for the kill. It's off of Hagberg. That is Osmus. And down for the third straight point for Pine City. 17-14, they lead. Shea Osmus had a nice diving dig attempt to keep it alive, but just couldn't quite keep up with it. Lind back to serve again for Pine City. Serve is over, and that one's dug up by Quincy Osmus. Hit across by Steffen, blocked, and blocked again. Keeping it alive was Robin Odegaard, and then hitting it across with Sky Ahrens, but they get a whistle on Pine City. So 17-15. Still in favor of Pine City here in set number 2. And back to serve, that is Nosbush. Diving dig to keep it alive. And Ahrens with the kill. Blocked at the net by Mora, but goes off the hands that were up to block. And right down to the court. 18-15. And now it's Robin Odegaard back to serve for Pine City. Odegaard's serve is over. Quincy Osmus with the dig, and she'll look for the kill. Blocked at the net by Ahrens, and then none of her teammates were there. It's one of those things where you kind of just get stuck in place as you try to lean for it. You just kind of get stuck. Your body just doesn't want to move. That seems what seemed to happen there. Sophie Steffen with the serve, dug up by Lynn to Rydberg, and hitting it across is Jusak. Dug up by Steffen to Shea Osmus, and now it is Haley Nordenstrom, and looking for the kill is Ahrens, and she'll get the kill. Sky Ahrens with the kill, making it 19-16 in favor of Pine City here in set number 2. Pine City leads 1-0. They won the first set 25-15. Carly Jusak back to serve now for Pine City. Her serve is over, and that's a tough one for trying to get the number there. Quincy Osmus to try and dig up. Going to be down for a point, 20-16. Quincy Osmus will check out. In for her is Lindsay Sigstad. Carly Jusak is back to serve again. Serve is up and over. And now with the hit across is Hagberg, dug up nicely by the Dragons. Hannah Bombard will just push it across, dug up by Hagberg. Now to Shea Osmus. And now looking for the kill was Haley Nordenstrom, but we're going to get a whistle, and they're going to call it something on Mora. Didn't see the call there. It's going to be point Pine City. 21-16, the Dragons lead here in set number 2, and are 4 points away from claiming this set. Dug up on the serve by Lindsay Najbush. Tapped across by Ahrens, and the Mora Mustangs cannot keep it alive. And the Dragons take a 22-16 lead here in set number 2. Carly Jusak with the serve into the net, 22-17. Still in favor of the Dragons. Looks like Summer Thiemann will come in for Carly Jusak. And it's Quincy Osmus going to be coming in for Lindsay Sigstad. And back to serve for the Mustangs now is Haley Nordenstrom. One of 6 seniors on this Mustang squad. Serves over, dug up by Lind to Rydberg. That is Odegaard. Is it in? Is it not? No, that is Ahrens. Excuse me. It is in for the kill from Sky Ahrens. 23-17. Ahrens will check out after getting the kill for Maddie Bombard, the libero. And it's Nora Kerr checking in for Nordenstrom. Maddie Bombard with the serve. It's over. Dug up by Kerr, who just checked back in to Shea Osmus. Quincy Osmus looks for the kill. Summer Thiemann's right there, though, to Rydberg. Hannah Bombard looking for a kill. Kept alive by the Mustangs. Stefan. Now Hagberg hits it across. Kept alive by Hannah Bombard. And looks like we might have had a Dragon step across the line. 23-18, still in favor of the Dragons here in set number 2. Going back to serve now is Shea Osmus for the Mora Mustangs. Mora Mustangs have made this a very interesting set number 2. As Shea Osmus with the serve, Summer Thiemann digs it up. Rydberg tries to push it across, and the block there by Hagberg and Quincy Osmus make it 23-19. Shea Osmus with the serve. It hits the net, and that definitely took Rydberg out of rhythm because she was ready for the dig, but it hit the net, and she obviously didn't believe that it was going to hit the net. Now it makes it 23-20, and that's one of those again where it's like, oh, here comes, hits it, and then you're just all offset. Oh, I don't think she. Oh, Thiemann, they're going to say she did just get a hair of her knuckle on it. And it makes it 23-21. Again, Mustangs on the fast track. Getting back into this one, 23-21. Shea Osmus with the serve, dug up by Thiemann to Rydberg. Lynn will look for the kill. That's dug, but right into the floor from Stefan, and it's 24-21, set point. Set point here for the Pine City Dragons. Rydberg with the serve, dug up by Stefan. Now to Shea Osmus. And Hagberg looks for the kill. Is it long? Is it not? Is it? Is it? Is it? It is. So set number 2 goes to Pine City, 25-21. And the Dragons lead 2-0 over the Mora Mustangs. 25-21 is the score of set number 2. 25-15 was the score of set number 1, and Pine City, takes a 2-0 lead over the Mora Mustangs. We'll take a commercial break. When we come back, we'll be ready for set number 3, which could be the deciding set here in this match between the Mora Mustangs and the Pine City Dragons. You're listening to Volleyball on 106.5 FM, AM 1350, WCMP.
Minnesota Equipment is your lawn equipment headquarters. With plenty of staff members that have over 20 years of experience, they're number 1 in sales and service for a reason. The pros at Minnesota Equipment have tons of lawnmowers, zero-turn mowers, and accessories on site, so come by for Stihl, Aaron's, Toro, Gravely, and John Deere, and take one home today. Minnesota Equipment, Highway 65 in Isanti, or find them at minnesotaequipment.com today.
Are you interested in a technical degree that can quickly help you land your dream career? Or maybe you've always dreamed of going to a 4-year college, but you'd like to start close to home. Either way, Pine Technical and Community College has you covered. PTCC offers more than 50 degrees in hot fields like healthcare information technology, advanced manufacturing, and business. PTCC is now accepting applications. Financial aid may be available online at pine.edu. Starting out or starting over, find your future at Pine Technical and Community College.
Since 1967, Schmidt Construction, general contractor in Hinckley, has been where to go for all your building projects. Let Gerald Schmidt help you with designing, remodeling, or any new construction. Schmidt Construction specializes in residential home building, agricultural, industrial, and commercial buildings. With expert advice on all of your building projects and ideas, when you hire a contractor to take care of your building needs, you can't do better than Schmidt Construction, general contractor in Hinckley. 320-384-7901.
Getting ready for set number 3 to begin. Could be the deciding set here in this matchup between the Pine City Dragons and the Mora Mustangs. Pine City has a 2-0 lead over the Mora Mustangs as they won set number 1, 25-15. And that last set, very interesting. Mora Mustangs got it close, but just not enough as the Dragons took it 25-21. Scoreboard says 25-0. I promise that is not the score here. They will get that scoreboard fixed before we start this match, I believe. There they go. Back to zeros for each side, and the third set is underway on the serve from Arissa Rydberg. With the dig was Nosbush, and then keeping it alive are the Mustangs. Nice job. Dug up by the Dragons. Lind will push it across. Shea Osmus, now Quincy Osmus tried to get it over the net, but it stayed on the Mora side. And that's the first point goes to Pine City, and that has been the way of the last 2 sets. The first 2 points go to Pine City in the last 2 sets, and that's how it's been working so far. And the Dragons would love to keep that up. That hit is a little bit long by Quincy Osmus. And that'll be the second point here for Pine City. They now lead 2-0. Serve here by Rydberg is over. Dug up nicely by the Mustangs. Lind now will get it, and she'll look for the kill. Oh, that goes off of Lindsay Nosbush. And Lind will make it 3 straight points to begin the third set. Arissa Rydberg still back serving for the Dragons. Serve is over. Dug up by Stefan. Now to Shea Osmus. Hagberg will look for the kill. Right to Maddie Bombard, kept alive nicely as Rydberg will push it across. Shea Osmus, now Quincy Osmus looking for the kill, and that's going to go off of Lind. That one stuck seemingly in the arms of Lind, and then it trickled down the net, and there was nothing she could really do. She tried using her knee, but it fell to the floor. 3-1 now as Shea Osmus with the serve, Maddie Bombard with the dig to Rydberg, and that's Abby Agard. It looked like she was getting the right spot on it, but right into the net. It makes it 3-2. Shea Osmus still back to serve. It is up. It is over. Thiemann with the late dig to Rydberg. Agard will hit it across right to Nora Kerr, and then getting it back across is Hagberg, right? Maddie Bombard to Rydberg. Agard again hits it across. Ooh, did that get down? It did. It did. A hard hit there from Agard, and tough placement, but she found it. And Jusak checks in for Summer Thiemann as Agard will go back to serve. 4-2 is the lead. Pine City here in set number 3. Agard with the serve. It's over. Dug up by Stefan to Shea Osmus. To Quincy Osmus looking for the kill. Dug up nicely there. Oh, and that goes into the net on the opposite side of the pole. That's going to be point for Mora. 4-3 now. Mora trails by 1 as Taylor Hagberg back to serve for the Mustangs. Dug up by Maddie Bombard, and Rydberg keeps it alive. This is going to be tough, and no chance there for Maggie Smetna. That was tough. A little bit of miscommunication there by the Dragons, and Rydberg flew in out of nowhere to try and keep it alive, but unfortunately just not able to, as Taylor Hagberg now with the score tied, we'll get it back across. Agard with the dig to Rydberg. Lind looking for the kill. That's long. into the bench of the Mora Mustangs, and the Mustangs have their first lead here this entire match. They have not led at all in sets 1 or 2. This is their first lead here as we are in set number 3. The Mustangs lead 5-4, and just as I say that, we tie it back up as that serve from Hagberg goes into the net. Emma Hermanson checks in for Maddie Bombard, and back to serve is Chloe Lind. Lind with the serve. It's over. Dug up nicely by Kerr. Now to Shea Osmus. Quincy Osmus looking for the kill. Block attempt by Pine City, but again, it's one of those where it has some nice spin on it. It stays in what seemingly is the palms of the blockers and then just trickles down to the court. 6-5, the Mora Mustangs have regained the lead with Quincy Osmus back to serve. Her serve is over. Dug up by Maggie Smetna, and then Rydberg ran after it and then let up, and she's a bit frustrated with herself there. It might have been a bit of one of those where your mind just kind of goes blank for a second and you just go, whoa, what happened? Lynn with the dig. It's going to be over the net, and trying to keep it alive was Agar, but unfortunately goes under the net, and that will be a point for Mora. They now lead 8-5, so things have kind of turned around here. Mora now leads 8-5 in set number 3. They've got some work to do, but on the comeback. Smetna with the dig to Rydberg. Emma Hermanson will tap it across, dug up by Shea Osmus. And now Sophie Steffen will push it across to Agar to Rydberg. Carly Jusak looks for the kill. That's in there. Point, Pine City, 8-6. That was a tough one. I wasn't sure if that was long or not. It wasn't. It's in there. And Jusak with the kill. And Maggie Smetna will check out. In for her is Morgan Mako. Mako will serve, trailing 8-6. Serve is over. 2 Mustangs go after it, but they keep it alive. Sophie Steffen looking for the kill. Jusak hits it back across, and that one hits the net. And again, it kind of just throws off the timing of Mako as she went to dive for it. But she almost had to, midair, stop her dive because it hit the net, and that really slowed the ball down, so she had to slow her dive down. And it's kind of impossible midair to slow yourself down. Carly Jusak will set it. Push across by Emma Hermanson. Dug up by Sophie Steffen. Push back across by Osmus, and then again by the Dragons Hermanson. Push back across by Steffen. Dug up by Agard. Now to Rydberg. Jusak will tap it across, and that is out. It is out. And the Mustangs now get back to their 3-point lead, leading 4-point lead, leading 10-6. The serve is over. Dug up by Agard to Rydberg. Emma Hermanson looks for the kill. That is off a Mustang, so they've got to go after it. They're not going to be able to get to it. And that is going to go off of the banner back there. It looks like the 1,000-point scorer banner. Point for Pine City. Carly Jusak out. In for her is Summer Thiemann as they trail 10-7 here in set number 3. Set number 1 was pretty much all Pine City. Set number 2 was a lot more interesting, and now Mora has taken the lead here in set number 3, trying to keep their hopes alive. With the hit, Hermanson with the block, kept it alive. Rydberg hits it back across. Mora not going to be able to catch up with that one. And that gets down. It's 10-8. Pine City trying to make their way on the comeback and retake the lead. 10-8, they trail. With Thiemann's serve, that gets over. Dug up there by Nosbush. Sophie Steffen looks for the kill. Dug up nicely there by Mako. And Agard will push it across, just too much on it. And point back for Mora. They lead 11-8. Again, they're still serving rope your floats here. Good cause, the money goes to a good cause, but man, does that sound delicious. Rydberg will set it for Hermanson. It goes off the net. Mora keeps it alive, though. And now Hagberg looks for the kill, and they definitely didn't touch it. Lind went to dig it, but she didn't touch it. Thank goodness she didn't, because Pine City will get the point back as that goes long. 11-9. The Dragons trail. Mora has the lead here. Again, their first leads here in this match. Hermanson with the serve. Nosbush, and unable to get a clean dig on that one was Shea Osmus. And point back for Pine City. They're 1 point away from tying it up. 11-10. Emma Hermanson back to serve. Serve is up. It is over. It's dug up by Quincy Osmus, and Shea Osmus. Oh, nice diving attempt by Thiemann to keep that alive. Shea Osmus looks for the kill. That is Nordenstrom who looks for the kill. Lind will look for the kill on the opposite side, and she gets it right down Broadway to tie this thing back at 11. Bit of back and forth blocks there by Pine City and Mora, and then Lind lined that one up cleanly and hit it square for the kill. Hermanson's serve is over. Quincy Osmus digs with Shea Osmus looking for the kill. Dug up by the Dragons. Oh, and Rydberg tried the little quick set over, but it did not work. And Libero checks in and for Hermanson. And now back to serve is Nordenstrom. Nordenstrom's serve is dug up by Thiemann to Rydberg. Lind will go after it for the kill. Nice dig, though, by the Mustangs. Hagberg looks for the kill. Dug up by Thiemann to Rydberg to Agard. Agard with the kill attempt, but kept alive by the Mustangs. Nordenstrom. Hagberg gets it back over, and that's going to go out on the far side. And the point goes back to Pine City. We're tied at 12. Morgan Mako checks out. In for her is Maggie Smetna. Back to serve is Arissa Rydberg for Pine City. They lead 2-0, and we're tied here in the third set at 12. Rydberg with the serve, dug up by Steffen to Shea Osmus. Quincy Osmus looks for the kill. That's a little bit long, and Pine City has retaken the lead they once held early in this one. They led 3-1, and then after that, it was all Mora. So their first lead since very early on in this set. Rydberg with the serve. It's dug up by the Mustangs, and Quincy Osmus, that was a tough one. Hagberg got a hand on it, and Quincy, again, is one of those where you just get stuck. It's looking like you might get enough on it, but then it's not enough, and you got a quick dive, and yeah, it's just a tough spot there for Osmus, as now Rydberg gets the serve over, dug up by Nosbush, and Hagberg will get it back across to Maddie Bombard, to Rydberg. Agard looking for the kill. It's dug up by Kerr. And Quincy Osmus looks for the kill right in front of the diving Summer Thiemann. It gets down, and Mora comes within one. 14-13, as it's Shea Osmus back to serve here for Pine City. Shea Osmus, oh, awkward. The serve was really awkward coming off of her hand. I don't know if she just misplayed it or what, but goes into the net, and now Carly Jusak checks in for Summer Thiemann. Back to serve is Abby Agard as the Dragons lead 15-13. Agard with the serve. That's just over the net, dug up by Steffen to Shea Osmus. It's going to get down. Again, Dragons are jumping at the net to block it, and I think that got the Mora Mustangs off kilter a little bit, because as that one was traveling on their side, they just kind of froze in place. And again, it's just so confusing sometimes. When the blockers go up for it, you think, oh, it's going to get over, and now we get a whistle. I think Quincy Osmus may have gotten a lift. Double hit, they're going to call. Double hit on Osmus, as now the Dragons have taken a 4-point lead, 17-13 over the Mora Mustangs here in set number 3. 17-13, we've got 8 points for Pine City to claim victory here this evening. But again, Mora is not giving up all night. They're not going to back away. They're going to fight for this. I mean, we've seen Mora take their first lead of this match here in this set. And it looked like Mora was going to run away with it. Then Pine City got a couple points back, and now they retake the lead by 4. So it'll be interesting to see how this one ends. Again, Pine City has scored first in all 3 sets, and that has led them to victory so far. They'd like it to happen here in the third set as well, but we have to wait and see. Agard will be back to serve. Abby Agard for the Dragons. Robin Odegaard checks in for Maggie Smetna. Serve is over, dug up by Kerr. Now to Quincy Osmus. Hagberg will get it back across. That is out. 18-13 now the lead for Pine City. Looks like the ball got away. Agard will go grab it. Agard with the serve. It's over. And oh my goodness, Hagberg. I don't know if she didn't see it as it came towards her or what happened, but she had to get her hand up at the last second, and as she did, it basically just went straight towards the court. And now the Dragons lead 19-13. Agard with the serve again. Kerr with the dig, but it's going to go again, find its way right towards the court. Make it 20-13, and Pine City is 5 points away. Get a substitution here as Haley Nordenstrom will check in for Nora Kerr. Abby Agard back to serve. Serve is over. Dug up by Nordenstrom. And the hit across by Nosbush. Odegaard to Lind. Lind looks for the kill. That's down. Pine City leads 21-13, looking to put this one away. I would not mind having an early night. Would not mind it. I also wouldn't mind if this one went all 5. I also would not mind seeing a comeback by the Mora Mustangs. We've seen it before. Teams go down 2-0, and then all of a sudden the other team storms back, comes back to force a set 5. Love those ones too, because those ones are just almost they are as fun. I can't lie. Those ones are as fun. Lind with the dig, and she'll look for the kill. Oh, nice dig though by Shea Osmus back across to Quincy. Osmus dug up by Odegaard to Rydberg to Odegaard, looks for the kill that goes into the net, and unfortunately that point will go back to Mora. Now Mora gonna look to get back on the comeback trail here. Amber Fix checks in, the sophomore for the Mora Mustangs. Abby Agard will check out for Hannah Bombard. Again, back to serve is Amber Fix for the Mora Mustangs. They trail 21-14, but with that point, maybe gain some momentum back. Maddie Bombard with the dig to Rydberg. DeJusak looks for the kill. That is right in between Fix and Nordenstrom. Right in between those two. And Pine City leads 22-14. Chloe Lind back to serve. Can she get 3 straight points and put it away for the Dragons? That first one's going to be an ace, so far so good. Now it's Pine City 23-14. 2 points away. Chloe Lind back to serve. Emma Hermanson checks out, and in for her is Sky Ahrens. Lind with the serve, and little too much on that one. Got a little too excited. And now checking into the game is going to be Gabby Schumacher in for Chloe Lind. Lind comes off the court laughing. I'm guessing laughing at her serve mix-up. And back to serve for the Mora Mustangs is Quincy Osmus trying to make the comeback. They need a lot. They need about 8 points to get back in it. And really bad miscommunication between Rydberg and Hannah Bombard. Rydberg talking to coach saying, I'm supposed to go up. Bombard's supposed to get the deep one. Just a little bit of miscommunication, a little confusion. It happens. But one thing, you just can't let it turn into a snowball. Can't let it snowball effect. Quincy Osmus with the serve, dug up by Odegaard, now to Bombard, and pushed back over by Odegaard. Dug up by Quincy Osmus, now to Shea Osmus. Looking for the kill is Nordenstrom, and that is going to be good. The dig, but it went too far back. And now the Mustangs trying to get back in this one. 6 more points to tie this up, to have a chance to claim set 3. Quincy Osmus with the serve, dug up by Bombard. That's going to go towards the net. It's not going to get over the net. And the oh, wait a minute. Oh, they're going to... I'm not sure what that call was. It looked like it was on the side of Pine City. It didn't look like it got over. I've been fooled before. 24-17, so match point. Agard with the serve. That's it. Odegaard will get the final point there. Robin Odegaard will end it all here in this one. The junior ends it as Pine City wins set number 3, 25-17, and they win this game 3-0. 3-0 is the final. 25-17 is the final here in set number 3. We'll take a commercial break. When we come back, we'll recap this game, let you know what's coming up. Still on WCMP the rest of the week for broadcasts, and also for the Pine City Dragons. You're listening to Volleyball on WCMP.
A&W Restaurant Pine City is still making fresh root beer, that signature item since 1919. It's still made fresh and on-site with real cane sugar and a blend of secret ingredients. It doesn't get any better than this. Their world-renowned A&W root beer is a classic treat, and they can top it off with creamy vanilla soft serve to be known as the famous A&W root beer float. Now that's smooth, tasty, and refreshing. An American iconic A&W root beer float. It never tasted so good. A&W Restaurant Pine City. Come grab your root beer float today.
If you've been injured in an auto accident or have sustained other personal injury, you don't have to leave town to get good representation. Spear & Swanson attorneys at law in Pine City are experienced and will work on your case with no fee until they get you money. They also handle divorce and custody cases, criminal defense, including DWI and other legal matters. Spear & Swanson is your local law firm that cares about you. So if you need legal representation or advice, call 320-629-7586. Spear & Swanson, attorneys at law in Pine City.
Your 401k is likely one of your most important assets, but it's only part of a comprehensive retirement strategy. Edward Jones can help you understand how your retirement assets fit into your entire retirement picture so you can work toward meeting your unique retirement goals. Contact Sidney Nelson, your Pine City Edward Jones financial advisor. Find him at 950 Main Street South, right next to Dairy Queen. Sidney Nelson and Edward Jones, making sense of investing. Member SIPC.
Loading the kids in the car, brokering peace in the back seat, mastering the snack handoff without even looking. Why are simple things sometimes so complicated? Thankfully, with auto owners, insurance doesn't have to be one of them. We work with independent agents who keep insurance simple, so you can worry about more important things, like figuring out what's growing in that cup holder. That's simple human sense.
Contact your local auto owner's agency, Pine Insurance Agency, at pineagency.us today.
When was the last time you had a professional tune-up for your home or business furnace? 1 year? 5 years? Or maybe it's been so long that you don't remember. When it's time to winterize your home or business, your routine isn't complete without a furnace tune-up from Dale's Heating and Appliance. A tune-up from Dale's will keep your furnace running at peak efficiency so you can keep warm all winter. Don't wait and avoid costly repairs. Call Dale's Heating and Appliance at 320-629-3531 or contact them online at dalesheatingandappliance.com.
The mushroom melt is back at A&W. How does this sound? Sautéed seasoned mushrooms and onions with melted Swiss cheese on your choice of a juicy burger or grilled chicken. Then add golden French fries and a medium soft drink. It's the mushroom melt and fries combo at A&W. Now, top it off with a classic A&W root beer float featuring vanilla soft serve and made fresh root beer, all in a frosty mug. Or how about the A&W root beer freeze? Signature combos and delicious treats always at your local A&W restaurant in Pine City.
With all the stress involved in a legal situation, it is comforting to know that you have K-Back Law on your side. K-Back Law in Pine City provides a relaxing atmosphere for you to feel comfortable discussing your legal needs. They handle a wide range of cases from real estate and business to estate planning and probate. K-Back Law has fair and flexible pricing and will accommodate your schedule. Visit them in Pine City or Sandstone. For more information, visit K-Back Law online at kbacklaw.com. That's kbacklaw.com.
106.5 FM AM 1350, the site for tonight's game between the Mora Mustangs and the Pine City Dragons. It has ended with the Dragons claiming victory 3-0 over the Mora Mustangs. The Mora Mustangs, man, I thought they were on the comeback train here late in this one, but it just wasn't meant to be tonight as they fall in 3 straight sets. They fell in the first match 25-15, then in the second set 25-21, and in the third and final set 25-17. Mora took their very first lead in the entire match in this third set, and they took a 4-point lead here in that third set, and all of a sudden it looked like the momentum had swung, and it looked like Mora was about to run away with this third set and push to a fourth set. And with that, you know, when you swing momentum like that, that can very easily swing into winning that fourth set and forcing a fifth set. And I love those games, love to see those games, but tonight it just wasn't meant to be as Pine City gets the victory. 3-0. Again, first set was won 25-15, then 25-21 was the second set, and the third set 25-17. So Pine City head-to-head wise, they are 1-0. Mora falls to 0-1. Coming up the rest of this week for the Mora Mustangs volleyball team. They will play tomorrow night at home against St. Cloud Cathedral. You can catch that one on our sister station of 95.5 FM KBEK. Then they'll also play on Thursday at home against Hermantown, and that wraps up their week of play. So 3 games this week they will be playing, and of course you can catch tomorrow's right on Nice 95.5 FM KBEK. For the Pine City Dragons, they'll have the day off tomorrow, and then they'll be back in action on Thursday as they travel to Malacca to take on the Wolves, and then that'll be it for them this week. They have 2 games. That's pretty much it for them this week, and then they'll have to look forward to next week. But for WCMP and KBEK, tomorrow we will have tennis updates from the tennis match for Pine City against Becker. We'll have that on either the FM or AM. We'll figure that one out. And then we will have on the AM station, we'll have the Hinckley-Finlayson Jaguars volleyball game against the Moose Lake Willow River Rebels. And that'll be, again, on this very same AM station tomorrow night at 7:15. And again, KBK will have the Mora Mustangs taking on St. Cloud Cathedral. Then on Thursday, it's time for football. We've got football action on Thursday. Nothing on Wednesday, I should mention. But on Thursday, it's back to football as we have the Pine City Dragons taking on and hosting the North Branch Vikings in their regular season kickoff here at home. That game was played in North Branch last year as the first game of the regular season, but this year it'll be here. Stay tuned for that one, and that one will be right back here on the AM station. Then on the FM station on Thursday, normally it's the Twins, but they have Thursday off, so we'll play East Central against Rush City on 100.9 FM on Thursday. And then on Friday, we have more football action as the Mora Mustangs will host the Grand Rapids Thunderbirds, and that'll be on 95.5 FM KBEK. So that's the look at the rest of the schedule, the broadcast schedule for this week. Again, you can go to WCMPradio.com, click on the sports tab, and go to broadcast schedule. And that's where you will find the rest of our streaming schedule here for WCMP and KBEK. Again, in this game, Pine City sweeps the Mora Mustangs 3-0, taking the victory. I want to thank everyone for tuning in here tonight. Thank you so much, no matter where you're tuning in from. I know I heard that there were people tuning in from all around the United States of America, so I want to, again, appreciate everyone who has tuned in. It means a whole lot to me, and I know you're tuning in just to watch this game. But again, thank you so much for tuning in. I want to thank all of the fine sponsors who sponsored this broadcast. Can't thank them enough. I really can't thank them enough, because if we don't have sponsors for these broadcasts, we can't come out and call these games that one, and then we can't bring them to you. Then you don't get to watch. So if you're in any of those sponsors buildings at any time, or any of their businesses at any time, just make sure to give them a shout out. Say, hey, thanks for sponsoring the broadcast on WCMP and KBEK, because without them, we really can't come out here and broadcast these games. So thank you so much to the sponsors. Again, the Pine City Dragons get the sweep over the Mora Mustangs 3-0. For WCMP, I am Ethan Game Day Gilman. Remember, be kind to everyone, because you never know, your kindness could make someone's day. Again, Pine City with the victory, 3-0 over the Mora Mustangs. For WCMP, I am Ethan Game Day Gilman. Catch the sports update on KBK at 7:30 and 8:30, and on WCMP at 7:45 and 8:45. Thanks for tuning in, everybody, and have a great rest of your night. I am Ethan Game Day Gilman. Remember, be kind to everyone, because you never know, your kindness could make someone's day. Again, Pine City with the victory, 3-0 over the Mora Mustangs. For WCMP, I am Ethan Game Day Gilman. Catch the sports update on KBK at 7:30 and 8:30, and on WCMP at 7:45 and 8:45. Thanks for tuning in, everybody, and have a great rest of your night.